You have your chair, you have your weights, you have your ball. We're gonna roll the shoulders up, back and down. Get a good squeeze at the top. Feel some tension in your shoulders and then let it relax. Let that upper body get into it, rounding those shoulders, squeezing them up and dropping them down. A couple more times. And then add those arms, add that torso. So we're opening and closing, curling into a cat stretch, opening into your full wolf moon. Couple more times. Good, let's step it out. Bend those knees, come down, extend that spine long, round into your cat and your wolf. Bring your hands over to your left side, cat and wolf, and over to the right, cat and wolf, and then you're going to stand it up and start those toe taps. In a moment, we'll take 2 to your right, in 4, 3, here you go. And a little hamstring curl. Leave your hamstring curls here, hands on your hips. Scrape those feet off so you get a little more action through those hammies. And then step touch, and then step touch in front. Bring your arms here, give me a shoulder squeeze. Add your knee lift. Pull down. Arms up and over. Crisscross at the knees. In a moment, we'll double time on that right side in 4, 3, stay right. One more. Good, step touch. We'll go 2 to the left in just a moment. 4, 3, 2 left. Whenever you want, you can add that hamstring curl. Leave it here, hamstrings only, hands on your hips. Really scrape those feet. Step touch. Toes in front. Pull back. And knees up. Arms up and over. We're going to stay on that left and double time in 4, 3, 2, here you go. One more. And step touch. Wide stance, pull those shoulders, and then just gently bring it down. Hands on your thighs. Roll through your cat and your wolf a few times. Do it with your own breath. Then let's drop that right shoulder in, look up over the left. Back through center, other way. Back through center, double time, 2 pulses in the right and then 2 in the left. 2 to the right and 2 to the left. And then just single side to side. Good, start walking your way up. Roll those shoulders again, up, back, and down. Let's grab your ball and your weight. Small goes between your thighs, please. Walk those feet into parallel. so that you feel some inner thigh movement here. We're gonna start really simply with that upper body, couple upright rows. Hands stay close together, elbows lead the way. 2 more. Good, relax that down. Bend your knees, drop into a little demi squat, squeeze that ball, stand up. Bend and squeeze and stand. When you're ready, put those 2 things together. Two more. Good, last time, sit down into it, give me a little pulse with the elbows, give me a little sit with the knees. Good, stand it up, squeeze the ball, squeeze it, just a little squeeze. Inner thigh awareness, bring your arms way out, away from your body, bend them an inch or so. And then, sorry, you're just squeezing in, sorry. And arms are bending and straightening, very small. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're gonna walk those feet so they're in a slight turned out position. Just bring your weights here. Bend those knees as if you're loosening your grip on the ball, and then stand up. If you want to, come up on your tippy toes and then down on your heels. Really squeeze that ball as you come up. Good. And then we're just going to bring those arms out in front as you sit down. Squeeze that ball at the top. Come up on those tippy toes. Two more here. Good. Come up on those tippy toes. Hold here. Arms just out here for balance. We're going to drop the heels, lift the heels in this turned out position. If you want to add that bicep again, please feel free. You can even bring it slightly in front. You can bring it all the way in front, straightening and bending. Hold this at the top, straighten those arms, come up on those tippy toes, hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, set those things over on your chair for just a second. All right. We're gonna grab that ball behind our right leg. And we're gonna put a weight in our right hand. We're gonna bend that left knee and slide that chair away so that we're getting a long, flat spine. You're gonna keep that left knee bent. And we're gonna start with just a bend and straighten of that left leg. We're gonna add on, knees come together, press up. As you straighten the left leg, the right heel presses to the sky. Good, keep that going. Then if you want, if it doesn't feel like too much, you add a bend and straighten of the right arm, pinky to the sky, tricep extension. That left glute should be feeling this by now. Two more. Now you get to leave the left leg straight, which should feel pretty good. Spine is still long. Lift that right leg up. Give me a hamstring curl, nice and slow motion. Abs in, left leg nice and straight. Good, 2 more. All right, we're putting those together. We're gonna bend and squeeze, Lift, extend, hamstring curl, bend and squeeze, lift and extend. You want to add that tricep. This time turn the palm toward the sky. You should really feel that in that left outer hip. Ah, so much so that one of us needs a break. Don't forget the hamstring curl at the top. Last two, last one. Let's set those things down. Let's give that left hip some love first. Left ankle crosses over that right thigh, tailbone long. Ooh, tailbone out behind you. Extend that spine, arch it, and then round it back. Bend, arch, bring it forward one more time, round it, press it back, and there you go. Let's do those things on that other side before I forget them. So ball goes behind your left leg. You're gonna find that long slide out back position. Right knee is gonna bend and straighten. Then we add that left knee bending in and pressing up at the same time. And then if you want to add that tricep, it bends and straightens along with the legs. Keep that going for me. Almost there. Pinky to the sky. Good. Relax. Straighten that right leg. Lift that left leg. Hamstring squeeze. When you put all that together, both knees bend. Left leg comes up, right leg straightens. Squeeze the ball at the top. And then if you want to add that tricep again, palm goes to the sky this time. Almost there. Last two. And last one. Equipment in your chair. Right leg crosses over the left. Extend that tailbone and round it under. Press it out. Round it under. Press it out. And round it under. All right. Ball. Yeah, back between your thighs. Weight on your right leg. Left leg is in the air. Toes are just holding here. Left arm is here, little bend in that position. And we're just doing a heel raise for that right side, right calf. And we're pouring out whatever it is to keep your January dry. So thumb goes down, elbow and pinky go up. That right calf hopefully is beginning to feel this. Two more. Hold right here. We're going to lift that elbow a little higher. We're going to lift up on the heel or lift up on the toes. Elbow goes a little higher, little higher, little higher. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! You can set your things in your chair. Step forward with that left leg, sit back with the right. Press that right heel down. Feel a nice stretch in that right calf as you lunge. And then bend that right knee a little bit. Roll up on your toes, turn the toes out and the heel in. Adjust your hips to square them. And then lunge forward on that left leg. And bend that right knee. Then we're going to go toe in, heel out. And we lunge and bend. All right, we get to do that other side. So ball is between your thighs. Woo, sorry. Good thing there was no cat there. That's why I wasn't being careful. All right, ball is between your thighs. Weight is on your left leg. Right toes are pointed. Right elbow, sorry, is high. We roll up and down. And we do that little pour out your beverage. Pour out any bad luck from 2023. whatever you want to pour out. Almost there. Good, we stay at the top. We're gonna go an inch higher with everything. And bring that gently down. And now we'll step back and stretch that left calf. Right leg forward to left, toes press back into that left heel, bend that right knee. Bend that left knee, take it deeper. Come up, pull those toes out and that heel in, adjust those hips, lunge into that right leg. And bend that left knee, sorry. Then we're gonna roll up and go toes in, heel out. That one should feel really good. And bend that knee a little bit. Good, and roll that up. All right, we're gonna turn our chair. We're gonna put that ball on the chair. You may or may not need that for now. And we're gonna go into our wide stance and kind of straddle the chair. Hands just holding onto the weights for now. You're just gonna bend till you tap on that ball or touch it, or I'm sitting on it. Just, we're not actually gonna sit on it. Tap it and stand up. So plie squat here. Toes are out, heels are in. Good. And we're gonna just add that shoulder press as we come up. And you can adjust as needed. Again, you may not need that ball there. And now all we're gonna do is vary a little bit with the shoulders. We're gonna come out and then come in, palms still facing the front. And then eventually, if you want, you can do the little rotation. So palms open, palms come together. Shoulder work along with quad and glute. Adding on, if you want, up on those tippy toes, down on those heels. Just a few more here. Good, let's bring it all the way down. Relax, hands on your hips for now. Let's alternate lifting a heel, but staying low. And then both heels lift, hands back in front of you. Keep your balance. Heels are off the ground, drop a little lower, feel your quads a little more now, open them an inch, open an inch, open, 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 open. 3, 2, 1, ooh, bring that up. You can go ahead and sit on the front of your chair with that ball supporting you. You can set the weights down for a second, scoot over so that right hip drops off and we can stretch that right quad. You can tuck those toes or you can put the toenails on the ground, whichever feels better for your knee, adjust as needed. And then that right arm comes up, reach behind you, reach over, get that beautiful stretch. Think about sliding your right toes back to deepen it. And then we'll come up and we'll drop that left hip off the side. And again, toes, you can be on your toenails or tuck your toes, left arm up, reach back, feel that deeper stretch, reach over, even think about scooting the toes back a little bit. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring that up. You're going to take your ball and your weights down onto the ground. You won't need your chair. And everyone's favorite, we're going to sit on that ball with the left knee bent and the right leg straight. You can choose whether you want to have that leg where you can hug and hold on to it. You can have it off to the side, totally up to you where you want it, a little variation. Take that right leg and let's slide it about halfway open and then rotate it so you see the seam of your pants sitting nice and tall. As always, you may want to put your fingers on the ground. Let's just point and flex a couple times through that right leg. Good. Point the toes, lift them off the ground, flex and point, flex and point. 3, 2, 1. Point and lift. Flex and lift. Good. Now point, bend, and stretch, and stretch, and stretch, and stretch. Now flex and press, and press, and press, and press. Now listen up. You're going to bend, come a little towards center. Bend, center, bend, center, bend, center. Flex. Press out, press out, press out, press out. One more like that. Bend, center, 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 flex, press, press, and press. Hopefully that right quad filled all that. So you're going to lean over on that left elbow. Ball can support you. Once again, we're going to stretch out that quad. So try and get the knee behind the hip. Press it. Pull that ankle closer to your hip. Roll open for a second and feel that stretch that way. Right arm up, and then let's just rotate, and then bring that right arm down in front of you. Start tucking the rib and the hip closer, and then eventually rib and hip come together, and you're going to sit up, and we'll do the other side. So ball goes underneath you. Right knee is bent, however makes sense to you. Left leg, we open it to the side. We rotate so we can see that inner thigh. We're going to point and flex with it on the ground. And then we lift it up and point and flex. Good. We're going to point and lift. We're going to flex and lift. Hey. We're going to point and bend and stretch. We're going to flex and bend and stretch. Then we point and bend and stretch, bring it to center. And flex and press it open. And point and bend in. And flex and press it open. And we get to stretch it now. So drop over onto that right elbow. Left leg comes behind you. Try and get the knee further back than the hip. Try and tuck that heel closer to your booty. And then roll open. Feel that stretch. Left arm up. And then neutral. And then left arm down in front, changes that stretch. You should feel it, how it changes on each connection of that quad. And then finally, rib and hip together. Beautiful. All right, let's leave those quads alone for now. We're going to do a little bit of booty work 2 different ways. First with our bridge. So the ball goes underneath our feet. Toes go up and over and heels go behind. Your weights are going to be handy in case you decide you want to use them, or you can even go ahead and put them right on your hip flexors right now. And then as always, we're just using our fingers to hold them in place. We're not actually gripping the weights, right? When you're ready, pull those abs in, neutral spine with those hips off the ground. Stay lifted, roll the ball. You may have to put your elbows down, roll the ball in and out. And relax. All right. If you want, you're going to do that same series 2 more times, or you can go to single leg. So we put the ball underneath the left leg, toes go up in the air, heel goes down. And we're going to grab both weights and put them over on that left hip. And again, hold them in place. Use your right leg to help you lift up. And then that right knee can come up here, wherever. You're going to go up and down. And then you can stay at the top and roll in and out. And relax. And then again, you do that double up again, or move everything over to your right side. We lift up, left leg up in the air, right hip up and down. Stay lifted, roll in and out. And come down. Before we move on, we're gonna stretch those hammies a little bit. So come on back up. You're gonna sit on that ball. You're gonna move it under your left hip a little bit. Left knee is bent, right leg is off to the side. I'm gonna move this left leg out of the way. I'm gonna turn towards that right leg. And with a tall hinge, I'm gonna come forward without rolling back on my ball. I might even hinge forward a little bit. So I'm coming forward on that ball. Pull those right toes back towards you. You may even be able to reach them. Again, make sure you're not rounded and dropping into that spine as tall as you can be. If you're not able to reach those toes, bend that knee. That's your hamstring stretch, right? And then think about pushing the hips back and bending, pushing back. Don't do this quickly, right? And then come on back up to center. We'll do the same. Extend that left leg, bend that right knee, however you want to, that'll help you. Sit tall on the ball and hinge forward. Reach for whatever you can, grab it, and then if you need to, bend the knee and then press the hips back. So that kind of mobilizes, nice slow motion on that hamstring stretch. Beautiful. All right, as you roll off that ball, you won't need this ball for this next exercise. One more hip exercise, outer hip we didn't really get to yet, but this will get it. So you want to stack those knees up. You're going to lie all the way down. You could use your ball if you want to underneath your head. You don't have to. You're going to stack those weights on that top leg, and then again, you're not going to hold them. You're just going to press them into your leg. Abs in, waistline off the ground, and we lift that leg. And then we turn that into our clam by leaving the heels together, pivot open with that top leg. And then lastly, we do that pivot open with the heels in the air. And relax. You're gonna give that hip a little bit of love. If you want to, you can come up seated position, cross it over and pull it across. But notice if you lift that hip up, you'll be losing it, that stretch. So keep the hip down, but rotate the leg across. All right, we get to do that on the other side. So once again, we're gonna stack everything up, ankles, knees, hips, but waistline stays off the ground. Weights on that top leg, and we lift as a unit. Good, heels together, pivot open. And then same thing, but heels are in the air as we pivot. And relax. Ooh, again, you can give that hip some love. If you want to come on up, you can cross that leg over and give it a little tug across. All right. Ball and weight's handy. We're just gonna start nice and easy with our ab prep. Go ahead and bring that ball between your thighs and have enough awareness to keep that squeeze on for most of the time. Weights in your hands, deep breath in, exhale, slide up, inhale, lift those arms right above you. Exhale, slide down, and now you can release that squeeze. Inhale. Exhale, lift, squeeze the ball. Inhale, reach those arms straight above you. Exhale, still squeezing the ball, come down and release that squeeze. Option, exhale, lift, squeeze the ball, bring the arms up by your ears, and exhale down, and then release that squeeze. As you know, you don't even actually have to lift your head, right? As my arms come overhead, and as I squeeze that ball, I'm creating a lot of contraction in my abs. A couple more times. Leave the arms overhead this time. Reach through your fingers, squeeze ball, squeeze a ball, squeeze a ball, squeeze, 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 and release. Hug those knees in, grab that ball and slide it down to your ankles. Take one of the weights, put it on your rib cage, and see if you can put the other one on your low abs. So right underneath the belly button, and then tuck all that together as we go into toe touch version 1. Legs move away from the body on an inhale, and then come up nice and slowly on an exhale. You could bring your heels together, toes apart if you want. And those weights are giving you feedback here. And then relax. So now we get to switch it up. This time, the ball goes on the rib cage or the low abs. And as always, we're going to make sure that we scoop so the ball doesn't move. And then just one weight for now, one weight period. It's going to go lower than your knees, preferably where your calf muscles are. And so now you have that kinesthetic feedback with the ball. You have to be even more aware, and you have those weights below your knee, adding extra resistance. Final version, and you can choose whether you want to use a weight for this or not, but your hips are going to lift so that the ball comes underneath the tailbone, and you're on an angle, and then you lift those legs up. So the most challenging thing to do would be to lift your hands off the ground and see how much wobble there is, and then you can stick with that and go into your single leg toe touch. You can stick to that and try your double leg toe touch. And you could certainly put a weight below your knees, but there's a lot going on already. Abs in, ribs flat, back of the neck is long. So you're going to do 6 more of those for me, please. And then you're going to bridge up, move that ball out from under you, put that ball on the front of your ankles and roll like a ball to come up a couple times. And next time you're up, go ahead, take that ball, sit up on it. And we're going to get another forward stretch here. Knees are bent. Let's think about rolling forward a little bit and then pushing the hips back. And then you might be able to straighten out a little bit more. And then we'll sit up nice and tall on that ball. All right. We're going to come over onto our abs with that ball off of the mat. Hands are on top of the ball. All 10 toenails on the ground, kneecaps lifted, press down onto the ball. And then roll your shoulder blades together to lift a little higher and then down. So it's a squeeze lift. You guys keep going on that one. Not a good one for me today. So again, arms are out front, you squeeze and roll up. And then you go back. Couple more. And then let's press back, resting position. Hips sit back on your heels. Arms can be out front or down by your sides. So shell stretch looks the same as child's pose or prayer pose. Just resting back. Good. And then from there, we'll do those last little plank options. So coming into a side plank. Option one is to have that ball underneath you where you just love it and get off of it, love it and get off of it, right? So you guys know this one. Little press, little lift. For more challenge, you turn it into that balanced side plank. So your bottom ankle goes on first and leaves a lot of space for your top foot for the arch. And then you can come up into that side plank. Once you're there, straighten those legs out. Keep that hip lifting. Or you're just doing the taps. Either one is fine. We're going to do those same two things on the other side. Don't let me rush you. Take as much time as you want on that first side. And then if you've so chosen on the second side, you do the squeeze lift. And you can keep that going. Or you can turn it into the balance. Bottom leg on first, ankle. Lots of space for that top foot and bring it up. And then keep in mind that you really have to lift that hip extra. And again, take your time. When you are ready, you're going to come over into your forward plank with the ball right underneath your abs. And then you have the option to be on the fronts of your thighs or to tuck your toes. If you're tucking your toes, you're going to give me that little roll forward and back. Just try not to create a flat tire. And of course, you can stay with that. I'm just previewing what's next. When you're ready, if you want to do the balance for the forward plank, I suggest you put your ankles, maybe tops of the feet on, and then you lift up because you can have the option to drop your head and pike your hips and then come back into your plank. So whichever you've chosen, I'm going to give you about 40 more seconds. And just gently come on down. If you want to press back to shell stretch before we stretch, that's fine. If you want to windshield wiper those legs side to side, that's fine. And then eventually we're just coming over onto our spine. We're going to hug those knees in. And then we're going to bring that ball behind the right leg and give a little compression and then pull that over. Your head can be down. I just need to lift for now. Roll that leg and then right knee into your chest, right knee, right shoulder. Pull back with those right toes. Get some movement through that foot. And then we'll straighten out that leg. We're going to roll up to the ankle. Left leg flexes and straightens out. Lift nice and high. Pull that leg towards you. And then move that ball completely. Arms out into a T. Take a moment, feel that hopefully better opening across that right side, and then we'll cross the right ankle over the right thigh, let it pivot open. Bend those knees, grab your left hamstring, left leg up, point and flex. Crisscross that right leg all the way over, and this, if your weights are still handy, good time to slide your hands underneath and let the knees drop to the left. Then back up through center, uncross, ball behind that left knee, give it a hug in. Get some movement through that left side. Pull those left toes back. And then we'll straighten that leg up. We use that ball to roll up, flex through that right heel, lift, and then gently come down. Take a moment, feel that left side. Left crosses over right, pivot open. Thread your needle. And then crisscross all the way. Hands can find those weights so the chest stays open as your knees drop right. When you're ready, make your way over to your hands and knees for me, please. And you're going to roll through your wolf and your cat. Press up into your down dog. Pedal out those heels, meet me halfway around in your cat. Open in your wolf. Big deep breath in, and we have our curtsies. Thank you.